Hey everybody, happy Friday. And welcome to TGIF San Diego, where we keep you updated on the market, share the latest San Diego buzz, and kick off the weekend together.
A very special Memorial Day
A
edition
long weekend.
tonight on a very special TGIF San Diego.
All right, well, should we get the business part of it out of the way first, where you talk about the market for 1 minute?
Let's get it out of the way.
Move on to the other stuff.
Let's get it out of the way.
And go.
All right, so this week in San Diego real estate, the number of inventory plateaued a bit here. After rising steadily for many, many weeks, we've got a little bit of a plateau. We've seen a couple of similar plateaus, so that doesn't mean we're done. Although new listings were down 2 weeks in a row, pending sales about the same, which has been the case pretty much all year long. So, you know, all of this is happening mostly because interest rates are where interest rates are. 6.86%. We look like we might get some relief, but those 10-year Treasury yields just keep pushing up because you know, they're trying to get more people to buy them, and you need to entice folks with those higher rates.
Everyone buy treasuries.
Yes, let's get that demand lower.
10-year treasuries.
Yes, if we all just buy those, that'll fix everything. And that's what's happening.
Okay. I forgot. I'm not supposed to talk during that minute because you have only one scant minute. I couldn't help.
Yeah, I looked up at the timer and I was almost done. Yeah, that's all right. Nobody cares.
All right. Okay, so we're going to move on to animal news. And, you know, we like to talk about the eagles because everyone loves the eagles. We're going to check in with them. Looks like we've got it. This is live right now. You know, this is the nest in Big Bear. And these eagles, they could be flying any time now.
They could fly right now.
This is one of the parents. I can't tell. I think this might be the father, Shadow. The mother had a piece of like sap or something on her head for a long time. This is a pretty close up. But let's zoom back to a couple minutes ago. These eagles they've been really jumping around. It looks like they've got a fish. Let's full screen this.
Nice.
Put us up here.
All right.
So they've been going out on this front branch. Now I'm in the way again. Let me find somewhere they're on. Oh boy, that looks like a nice meal. I think that's another fish. I don't know. So, okay, here we go. This is from earlier this afternoon. So we've got one of the, that's an eagle eye view there. Yes. So we've got one of the parents here, and then here is one of the fledglings on a branch. So, I mean, if they fall off that branch, then they're going to have to fly. But they seem to be pretty steady on their feet, so I don't think they're going to fall. But.
No, and they when they open up their wings, they look like eagles. So I'm pretty sure they could fly anytime, but I don't know anything about it.
All right, well, we'll check back again next week, and maybe we'll have some exciting news about the eagles.
Okay. Fly like an eagle.
Yes. So last weekend, we were here on Saturday, and if you were here, you know that we were late. Well, we were day late, but also even later because our water heater. We had a water heater emergency.
Yes.
So do you want to recap and tell everyone? I know everyone's been waiting to find out what happened with our water heater.
Yes.
We've got some pictures here if you want to share the water heater news.
Well, this is the old water heater, and it's hard to see, but there's water all filling up in this pan, and the overflow tube from the pan was just dripping onto the floor because that's generally what you do. They're not usually plumbed to the outside. And I had to run to Home Depot real quick and find a fitting to glue, and it's blurry, a fitting to glue onto the end of the tube so I could hook up a hose and just get that, there you go, it's clearer. I had to glue this fitting on the end of the tube to hook up this hose so we could keep that water from, flooding into the garage and draining outside, because we had to wait overnight because the water heater was still working. It was just leaking real bad, but by the next morning it wasn't even working anymore. So me and my friend Hector went to Home Depot and purchased this Rheem natural gas water heater. Could have changed to electric, but that would have been a whole other project.
Next time our water heater fails.
Yes.
Look, there's Hector.
There's Hector
and
right there.
You didn't tell me that Hector wears New Balance shoes, just like you wear New Balance shoes.
Yeah, well,
y'all are shoe twins.
Yeah, that's one reason me and Hector get along so well. And then ultimately, the sort of thing, the thing about replacing.
John's home from the gym.
Oh, John's home from the gym.
Hey, John, how's it going? How was the gym? It was good. That's good. We'll ask you about it some more when we're not live anymore. John now goes to the LA Fitness in Poway instead of driving to SDSU to go to the gym over the summertime.
Yes.
But he'll be back at the Arc in the fall.
Yes. Hello, John.
Right, welcome home, John.
All right. So I guess what I was saying is, a lot of times when you get something new, you can like look at it and appreciate it, and it's new and improved. But in this case, it's just a water heater, and it's doing what the old water heater was doing before, only it's doing it now. So, yeah.
Well, this is one of the fun things about being an adult.
Right. And there's still a big hole cut in the drywall above the water heater, because this is where we actually did our plumbing reroute earlier, last year, I guess, where we took PEX up into the attic versus copper going down into the slabs. So this all needs to be patched up at some point. But
we have several drywall projects around the house. We keep building them up, and we need to find like a friend who likes doing drywall, because that's one thing that it's hard to get drywall.
It's hard to get it looking really good. And if you have an older home, you're gonna have holes in your drywall, because anytime anything happens, it's generally inside the wall. And
we have a hole right there in the wall where Hector crashed a board through our attic,
or his foot or something.
I think I saw it happen. It was
a board. Well, can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs.
Yes. All right. So this is Memorial Day weekend, and the Auto Club is Auto Club. Yes, that's the thing. Okay, the Auto Club.
AAA.
AAA. All right. They're expecting record travelers over, everywhere, but in particular Southern California, which is what we're going to be talking about here. So more people than ever out traveling this weekend.
Well, I'm glad to be off the road.
Yes, we will not be traveling.
I did notice that. Oh gosh, sorry. Coming home from
no, none of that.
Sorry, coming home from school. I've made some green tea, so I'll perk up after I drink that. Coming home from school, traffic was pretty thick today.
All right, well, looks like we've got 3.6 million leisure travelers over Southern California expected, up 3.6% from last year. So where are they traveling?
Are they going to Del Boca Vista?
Well, that would be a different state, but maybe.
Well, Florida,
sure, yeah.
Yes.
Top local destinations. Las Vegas, I don't know how local that is, but I guess, we'll count. That's
local-ish.
All right, local-ish. San Diego, Central Coast. I bet the Central Coast is nice right now.
Oh, yeah. It's probably real busy, though.
Yeah. Nearby national parks, such as the Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon isn't really that nearby.
Not really. That's like a
9-hour
trip from here.
I'm not sure how official this is. So, this is a totally different other topic. I hadn't prepared a segue. But if you were downtown on Thursday.
Speaking of driving,
did y'all see the drone show downtown on Thursday?
I missed this. That's great. It's
a Ron Burgundy drone show.
I look good.
Yeah, over the bay.
Hey everybody, come see how good I look.
The only place I saw anything about this was on San Diegoville.
Yeah.
None of the local news had anything, and nobody really seems to know too much about it. I asked ChatGPT, and they said that it was this local company called Drone Studios, and they've done a lot of drone stuff here in San Diego. I don't know if they were just trying to, generate buzz for their company or what, but anyway, they did this Ron Burgundy drone show. So the drone shows have been, happening more because they're more environmentally friendly. They're not noisy. They're not, bothering wildlife and, irritating people's pets. Let's see. You can hire these folks too to make a drone show. So they have a still image of the Ron Burgundy show.
1,000 drones.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's see. Let's see. What do we want to see? How about let's see the recent drone show for an event at the Midway. This might be a good marketing tactic for us. We could have a drone show with our logo and our name over Carmel Mountain Ranch.
Sure.
And
Wow,
we'll
here
get
they
back
go.
over to the other side. All right, how long is this? Well, it's 2 minutes long. I don't know if we'll watch all of it, but let's check it out.
Okay.
Okay, all right, we're just getting everything into place now.
There it goes.
Oh, there we go. Okay,
Yes.
now it's getting going.
John's jumping in the shower. I can hear him using some of that hot water.
Well, at least it's not midnight. Sometimes we have a rule, and I even I think we talked about this. I posted a sign on the door. You're not supposed to shower after midnight because it makes noise and wakes people up. And if you get up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom, there's someone in the shower, it's irritating. We tried to make a no showering after midnight rule. Posted a sign. Oh, that's cool. But people don't respect the sign.
Not anymore. They used to when they were little.
No. If John would not follow rules when he was a little kid, but if you posted a sign, he would follow the sign. So we had signs all over the place. All right, anyway, let's see if there's a grand finale. The drones are coming down.
It's
Okay, all
It's
right,
interesting.
that's cool.
Yeah.
So here's another, I don't have a segue for this either. This is something totally different. But have you ever been to the Giant Lemon in Lemon Grove?
No,
Okay. Well, there's a giant lemon.
I didn't know that.
Now-
How did I not know that?
That's what I thought. I felt kind of ashamed of myself for not knowing about the giant lemon. But there is a giant lemon. We'll look at it on Google Earth in a minute. But apparently this giant lemon has been around since 1928. It was used as a parade float, first for use in the Fiesta de San Diego. And then it was used for parade floats until 1934, and then they decided to make it a permanent landmark in Lemon Grove. It's been moved around a couple times and repainted and whatnot, but it's still there today. Let's see. Oh, the World Record Academy. What is the World Record Academy? That's different than Guinness?
I guess so. I've never heard of it.
Anyway, they named it the world's largest lemon sculpture. Okay, I feel like Guinness should take
large lemon.
All right,
I'm Ron Burgundy. Sorry.
Somebody wanted to make it into a lemonade stand at one time, but people didn't like that. Didn't happen. Okay, so where is this? Because I feel like we need to go see this giant lemon. I'm disappointed in us for not even knowing about the giant lemon. I guess we don't really spend that much time in Lemon Grove.
I've spent enough time in Lemon Grove. You'd think I'd know about
Well,
it.
we spend a fair amount of time in La Mesa, which is, near Lemon
there,
Grove,
yeah.
and Spring Valley. But all right, anyway, this giant lemon, let's check out where it is. It's not that far from the college area.
No.
But, all right. Let's see it. It's right here by these train tracks.
Broadway in Maine. Okay.
Yeah.
I swear to God,
there it
I've
is.
been right here a bunch of
Well,
times.
maybe we just haven't paid
Maybe
enough
I'm
attention.
driving
But
and
there it is. Yeah.
All right.
There it is, giant lemon. If you haven't seen it, go check it out.
Go check it out. Giant lemon.
All right. Well, it was kind of a slow news week this week. There was news, but we want like light and fruity news. There was the whole plane crash thing, and I kind of debated, should we talk about that? But everybody's talking about it, and that's really not a fun subject. Do you have anything you wanted to say about the plane crash?
Oh, well, in the immediate aftermath of it, I've been very annoyed with, but all three, ABC, NBC, and CBS, all keep referring to this as a small Cessna.
That's like the biggest Cessna you could get, right? Or no?
It's a business jet,
Yeah.
and it's not as big as an airliner, but it's certainly not a small Cessna implies a small single engine plane.
It was a large Cessna.
Yes, and one that carries lots of jet fuel and goes 140 miles an hour, and when it crashed, it definitely
A small Cessna seats like 2 people, right?
2 to 4,
Yeah.
and had that crashed, it would have maybe taken out 1 or 2 cars and part of a house maybe, but this one really it really crashed, and folks were fortunate that there weren't ground fatalities. Seems like 6 people were on the plane, and they're all gone. And being an aviation enthusiast, I've already dived into what happened, and it's going to take the NTSB a year to come out with a report that says the pilot was flying too low, didn't have the current weather, and shouldn't have even been trying to land. if anybody remembers the other day, fog was all the way down to the ground, all up and down the coast and 10 miles inland at that time of day. So
word on the street is, though, also that like the runway lights weren't working at Montgomery Field. Do you know anything about that?
it wasn't the runway lights that weren't working.
Okay. Sometimes the word on the street is incorrect.
The automated surface observation system was out of order, and that's a radio frequency that you can dial in when you're flying, and it broadcasts the weather. So the closest weather the pilot had was from Miramar, which is close enough. And it was telling him, ceiling is 200 feet and you're never going to see the runway lights if the fog is all the way down to 200 feet. And so he was flying too low in an effort to probably see the runway lights, and couldn't find them, and wound up clipping some power lines and diving into that neighborhood. It was very unfortunate. And, San Diego is a big aviation city with very busy airports that are very close to population. And, every so often something like this happens. It's unfortunate. Rest in peace to the pilot and the other 5 on the plane. And thank goodness nobody on the ground was killed.
Yes, that's true. Well,
due to his unfortunate decision to try and land there.
Well,
easy to say what they should have done.
Yeah, it's easy to sit here in our chairs and say what we think they should have done.
The right thing to do in that situation would have been to go land out at El Centro or something and wait for the fog to burn off, or at least anyway.
Well, let's move on to a more lighthearted subject. Restaurant closures this week. We haven't looked at restaurant closures for a while.
No, just
mostly because I haven't recognized any of them. But there aren't really that many this week. There's a few around town. We've got Halo Cafe. Okay. And
when you say closures, you mean the health violence.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. I should have prefaced this more. I feel like, we've all done this a bunch. But restaurants that were closed down by the health department for violations.
Porkyland.
Again, I'm not judging anyone. I'm just doing this for information purposes. So I like to check this site before I go eat and know, what's going on with the restaurants that we frequent.
Yes.
Oh, Porkyland. That was the most interesting thing that I saw too. Was there's a restaurant called Porkyland, which, much like the Lemon Grove Lemon, I had never heard of.
I'd never heard of it. No.
And there's 2 of them, and they've been around since, I want to say 1946, but that might not be right.
And one of them's on Carmel Mountain Road?
The other Carmel Mountain Road.
Oh, okay.
Somebody needs to do something about this.
Yes.
Todd Gloria needs to stop all this other stuff that he's doing and do something about the fact that there are 2 Carmel Mountain roads, and they never intersect, do they?
Well, not the one over by the coast and our Carmel Mountain Road. Although you can find in Rancho Penasquitos the intersection of Carmel Mountain Road and Carmel Mountain Road. They intersect each other.
That's like the nexus of the universe.
Yeah, it's like a vortex of some kind.
All right.
But then over in Carmel Valley, yes, there is also a Carmel Mountain Road, and I've had people who are either from out of town or out of the area coming to visit and call me, I'm on Carmel Mountain Road, and it turns out they're not on our Carmel Mountain Road.
All right, so Porkyland, I thought maybe it would be like a Southern cooking kind of place, but it's a Mexican restaurant.
Oh.
And there were 2 of them. And I looked at the website, and the menu actually looks pretty good, and I'm kind of disappointed that they have, been closed down because now I can't go there. But let's look at what happened. How bad was it?
Holding temperatures.
Major holding temperatures. Okay, so holding temperatures and cooling, that's 2 different things. I'm not sure how that's 2 different things, but vermin, major... warewashing facilities, equipment, utensils, linens, premises, vermin proofing, all kinds of stuff. They really need to get that together. Yeah. And they had an inspection last year. It looks like we've had issues with this in the past. All right, here is where it is. It's in Torrey Hills Center, Carmel Country Highlands.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. It's
very close by.
Seems like the kind of place where they would, be careful with the vermin proofing. But I guess, sometimes these things are hard to stay on top of.
Yeah, it happens.
All right, so Porkyland. Now, first of all, I don't want to be critical of Porkyland, but it was hard to get to their menu. I had to agree to have delivery and give them my address and stuff to even see the menu. Which,
wow.
That's a side note, but the prices seem somewhat reasonable.
That's, yeah.
Well, bean and cheese burrito, $10.95. I don't know. I'm gonna kind of
California
take that
burrito,
back.
$14.25.
Yeah, okay, never mind.
Yeah.
All right. Well, they've got some sort of interesting burritos. They've got Cheetos burrito, carne asada. This is kind of a twist on the California burrito.
Yeah.
It's okay? So it has sour cream and guac, which many California burritos either have sour cream or guac.
This one has
But
both.
This one has both.
And it has fries and Cheetos.
Yeah, okay.
That's
interesting. All right.
That's a lot of stuff in one burrito. I've seen so much debate online about whether or not French fries belong in a burrito. But if you live in San Diego, California burrito has French fries.
Well, John, I mean, he's a native San Diegan, lived in San Diego his whole life, spent his whole life, 18 years in Carmel Mountain Ranch, eating it, lots of he loves Mexican food,
Yeah.
always tries the Cali burrito, like that's his go-to when he goes to a new Mexican
Anywhere,
restaurant. And I mean, to him, that's legitimate. So who is a better judge of what is legitimate or not?
Well, I mean, a California burrito has French fries in it. I don't know how anybody could.
Native San Diegans are enjoying the Cali burrito.
No reasonable person can say otherwise.
All right. So I already talked about how it was kind of like a slow news week as far as light and fruity news. So I had to go down the News 8 throwback rabbit hole, which is what we do when we need something else to talk about. This was kind of interesting what I found, though. $1 million mansions in San Diego in 1979 and 1990s. That's kind of a wide range, but all right. And this is a half an hour long. Obviously, we're not going to watch all of that, but let's just pop in here and check some highlights. Let's see, we have the closed captions. Maybe they're on.
They're off.
Thanks for watching CBS 8 Plus and welcome to this
Carlo
throwback
Cicchetto.
special.
All right.
Below me, a 100,000-gallon Olympic-sized swim.
And
back
almost
here.
6 acres of land along the La Jolla Cliffs, just above Black's Beach.
Ooh, just above Black's Beach. Okay.
It'd be two-story. It'd have to have a staircase that went above the, you can see up to the ceiling. You'd be able to see the staircase and be able to look down into your front room. Have to have a gigantic fireplace.
Well, this looks nice. The sunken. There used to be a thing like the grooving area, the sunken living room
If I had $1
thing.
million to build a home, it looked like a mansion. I think it looked better than Queen Elizabeth house, palace, or whatever she have up there. That's what I'd do.
So these, they didn't tell us when this was, but this looks like the 70s, right?
This looks like 1979.
They probably told us, but I was too impatient to. Okay, La Jolla Mansion.
100,000-gallon Olympic-sized
Big
swimming
pool
pool.
with a scorpion. All right.
And if it's just a little bit too cold outside,
I'm assuming
to
these
go
are all
swimming,
priced at exactly
there is a
$1 million
fireplace built
too.
right
Because
in
Yes.
that was the
swimming
title.
pool Where you can relax, talk, sit around, do whatever you want.
Oh, wow, a fire pit in
Grounds
the pool. That's
indeed
nice.
are magnificent.
What kind of car is that?
6
That was a
acres here to
Camaro.
work with,
Okay.
and the owner has used them wisely. Built in 1972, the Gagosian Mansion sits on a bluff 350 feet above the ocean. And talk about
Gagosian
views.
Mansion.
I've
I wonder
seen
what that's
nothing
up
like
to
it.
now.
Looks like
Our
they've.
cameras
We
are
should
looking
next
westward
week we'll
from the
come
rear of the
back
house.
and find
In
what
the
this looks like
foreground, a
now.
manicured lawn
And how
with
much it's
private
worth.
putting
Yeah,
green,
probably more than $1
girded
million.
by 6-foot-high
Little bit.
soapstone walls. Standing
All
here
right,
is
so this
like
looks
being able to
nice.
see
Let's
forever.
see
If
what
only
else
feet of
we can
ribbed
find for
copper.
exactly
Eventually, the
$1
rusted
million.
look will fade, and the roof will be
And this is the
completely
same
green.
thing.
Yeah, they're still
$1,000
talking about.
each. A fireplace stands 20
Is
feet
this the
from
same
the wall
place?
and is
Yes,
centered
yes.
at the head of
Okay,
the
all right.
sunken oval conversation
Let's find
area.
a different
Again,
place. Here,
I
okay,
stress
there's
the
Carlo
view.
Cicchetto and this lady.
Absolutely beautiful.
This looks like
But before we show you the inside, let's take
maybe
our
the
cameras
80s. Are we
outside.
into the 80s now?
I think we may still be in 1979. The video quality is fuzzy, so I'm guessing this is still 1970s.
All right, we've got some nice details here.
66,000 square feet of usable land.
Wow,
A
that's
good
a big
portion of
lot.
that is a formal Italian garden.
Wow, a
with an
formal
unbelievable
Italian
view
garden.
of the El Cajon Valley.
El Cajon?
Surroundings
Okay.
One would find very comfortable for entertaining or
Wow,
just
this looks nice.
relaxing. Equally impressive is the pool and jacuzzi area.
Again,
lined
I'm
with stone
presuming this
decking.
is
And the
exactly
columns,
$1 million,
they're
because
really
that's
striking,
what the
stark
title
white
said.
and lining the pool in a graceful way. Lots of room for entertaining here. Adjacent to the pool, a cabana game room, complete with
Cabana
fireplace,
game room, very
pool
nice.
table. Hey,
Ah,
quality
geez.
property. We may be going a bit too fast, but there's a lot to show you. This perhaps looks like a guest house. Look again. It's a tri-level 400 square foot dollhouse, scaled to little people.
It's a dollhouse.
Is that neat?
Okay.
The Eliseo home itself is
I like that
most
lady's
impressive
hair.
from the
It's real
outside.
big.
Yeah.
A code walkway lined by Grecian pillars brings
lot
you
of
to the front
Aquanet
door
in
of a
that
home
hair.
worth
I can smell it now.
$1,750,000. Inside, 5 bedrooms, 5 full baths. But first, a look at this room, the living room. Keep in mind as you tour this home that 95% of the decor you see, whether
I
it be
kind of
this
like just
clock
like this gaudy
or the piano
opulence, you know,
or
just
the
like let's
statue
just go
is
over the
being
top.
sold
Let's
right
just
along
have some
the home.
drama with our
The
architecture.
owner, John
Yeah.
Eliseo,
This guy's
who we'll
doing
talk
some
with later,
important business.
told me
Now look
only
at
the
his
very
phone.
small things that mean a lot to the family will go. What makes this home worth $1 million? Part of the reason there's a spectacular
$1
view
million.
from every room.
$1 million
And the
view.
feeling
Look
you
at
get
that.
just walking through the place is one of space and tons of it. The antique furnishings, of course, would up the
All right.
price
Should
on
we
any home.
skip
Yes.
ahead a little
Yes.
bit?
How
Okay.
many houses
There's a
have
lot of
to bring
stuff.
to reality a dream
Okay.
he and his
Another-
wife have had for a long
This place
time?
looks nice
I think we're
too.
still in
That would fit their
1979
needs
here.
and yet be a little more.
Okay, let's skip
And it
ahead. This
is.
is the whole half hour. Oh, let's see what this lady has
Just
to say.
by overdoing everything, I've managed to have just what I need.
All right, I know what you mean.
This is just
I know
1/12
what
of
you
their
mean.
worries, as there are 11 other rooms about this size
All
or
right,
larger.
lots of rooms in this
The
place.
chairs
happened to Del Mar real estate in the last 40 years?
This looks more
600,000 for
contemporary.
Castle and Del Mar.
$600,000
Don't let the
castle.
Realtor's small flag on this
I don't know.
Fairbanks Ranch
Fairbanks
street fool
Ranch.
you. There's nothing small about the house you're
This
about
is the
to see.
90s for sure.
Again, exactly $1 million.
Hello again. Hi.
This lady looks like a 90s realtor.
Oh, nice, right?
Yeah.
Don't settle for less.
Ah!
Others are doing to fix missing and broken teeth. The company everyone has been raving about is called New.
That was unfortunate.
Starting with the
Okay.
oversized,
All right,
hand-carved
moving
walnut
on.
front doors.
Should we
Moving to
stop?
the massive
Is this enough of this
marble
video?
tile
Or
oak
I
maybe
think
skip it?
I think
Seen enough.
people should check this out for themselves on the News 8
There's
Throwback.
30 minutes of it, so that's like a
30
whole,
minutes
yeah,
of $1 million mansions
All right.
from 1979
This is the
and
guest house.
1990.
All right. Now, let's move on to Texas, where a cat has earned a world record for the largest or the longest jump from a cat.
All right, let's see it.
Okay, so this cat earned a record for jumping 8 feet and 5 inches.
Okay.
So it sounds like they've been training this cat for a while. Cat's name is Oscar. They teach Oscar lots of tricks. It sounds like they had to work up to the long jump. Now, I'm proud of the cat, but also I kind of want to know, like, did the cat like to jump? Because, you know, when we talk about these animal feats, I'm always concerned about the animal and are they having fun and enjoying it? Because if so, that's okay. But I don't really
I'm
like
pretty
when
sure a
people make-
cat's not doing anything it doesn't want to do.
Probably not, but let's have a look at this. And I'm curious to know, you know, does the cat look like it's enjoying enjoying what it's doing?
Ah, look at that cat. That cat's.
Oh yeah, okay,
Digging
yeah, that
it.
cat. Well, and it has a treat at the end too. That's good.
Wow.
Oh my, that's a
pretty-
big jump.
Yeah, I think Buddy could do that.
Buddy, maybe he could be in the Guinness Book. He couldn't do the part where somebody comes over to verify though, because Buddy would just hide under the bed if
No,
anybody
that's true.
came
He
over.
does it when he wants to do
Right.
it. I got an eyelash stuck in my eye. So
That's too bad.
yeah. All right. What's
All
next?
right, that's all.
That's it? Uh-huh. All right. Well, I'm going to get to the kitchen and finish making our smothered baked potatoes that we're having for dinner.
Nice. What are they smothered in?
Onions, mushrooms, cheese, and some gravy.
All the good stuff.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm looking forward to enjoying that and the rest of our Memorial Day weekend and enjoying some hot water.
Hot water, Memorial Day weekend.
Oh, let's do a few shout outs. I want to give a shout out to my friend Angela, who graduated from nursing school this weekend. I went to her
Congratulations,
ceremony
Angela.
at CSU San Marcos. It was long, but it was all worth it for the 45 seconds that I got to watch her walk across the stage. Shout out to my friend Thea, whose birthday it is.
Happy
and we'll
birthday,
be
Thea.
celebrating tomorrow at her favorite Japanese restaurant in the Convoy District. Can't remember the name of it, but it sounds good. Shout out Light Iced Coffee. We always appreciate your thoughtful comments and support of our channel. Do you have any other shout outs?
Did we have Memorial Day pictures? We didn't. Okay,
No.
that's all right.
Sometimes we show on Memorial Day the picture of Grandpa Ace as he was getting ready to go off and
Fight in the Pacific Theater.
yes. But it'll be Memorial Day again before we know it. So
Yes.
we'll do that next time.
All right.
So you don't have any other okay. Any other shout outs for you?
Thanks, Hector, for your help.
Yes, thank you, Hector.
Was there something else?
No, I don't think so.
All right. Well, in that case, go forth and have fun, but
All
not
right.
too much fun.
Yeah.
Stay safe out there.
All right, everybody. Have a great weekend, and we'll see y'all later.
See you later.